So you have interest in tokenizing real estate. Specifically, you have interest in technology that sits behind tokenizing real estate. You're interested to probably launch your own white label platform. And we've decided to take you through that, but not only you, also a few other people who have the same interest. That's why we made this session as part of BlockChat. What Denis, alongside myself today, and mainly Denis, will take you through is the whole system and will introduce you to how can you tokenize real estate successfully. Very simple steps. Everything is prepared. You don't need to have tech. You don't need to own tech. You just need to use tech. And Blocksquare enables you to do so. We will take you through it. You will be able to understand the steps as well as perform them. If you need a further demonstration or you have further questions, feel free to ask us and it will be more than a pleasure to assist you. Our team is doing successes as we speak now, at the same time interested to do bigger successes alongside you, watching this, being a pioneer interested to hopefully partner with us towards a tokenized future. So stay with me. I'll turn you on to Denis and we'll be with you in a second.
Today we'll be looking at our marketplace platform, how it functions, what are the features that it has, and how it interacts with our tokenization system. As you know, you have all the resources in our docs section. You can find it by going to our website. Let's do that. Have this docs section. Here you will see a lot of information described in detail on our tokenization protocol, as well as our white label marketplace and Ocean Point, which is our DeFi bridge. You will also find the license pricing, partner program, and everything that is might be important to you. If you don't find the answer to your questions through the docs, feel free to get in touch with us.
If you are wondering what should you be doing now, after watching this demonstration, you probably should go to Google, type Blocksquare, we will come up, our website will guide you through exactly what to do afterwards. Follow those steps. Denis will take you through the docs briefly. You can definitely go extensively into the docs, understand better our program, what are we trying to achieve, and how does it benefit you. At the same time, you're able now to create an account, log into the system, and try the technology that we are demonstrating. And most of you will have in front of you now the system open. You probably will pause me here, go to Google, Blocksquare, and then you jump onto our website and you can start with what you will see in a second. I'll give you a second for you to do it, and then we'll start again.
Through Discord or Telegram, or maybe just writing up an email. So let's start with the presentation. This here, as you might see, is the sign-in page, and you can also sign up before entering a marketplace. Each marketplace is branded according to our partners' needs. For instance, here we have the login for Ocean Point, but we can go back through a couple of others. So the colors, you define the accent color and your logo, and you then have a personalized marketplace where you can list the assets that you are onboarding to it and the investors that you want to onboard. Now,
and here you imagine the minute you say, I want to tokenize real estate, I want to launch my own platform, that it would take you a few years, a couple of $millions to be able to do that. And then you need to refine every single stack you have, and every single approach, and every single screen, and every single slide. We have been doing this all through all the years that have passed. So what you will see today is refined, customized to make it very simple. You'll see very simple formats, very simple, so that anyone can scroll through. It's not complex, it's not full of graphics that may be useful or non-useful. You have everything you need, but nothing that you don't. And again, you're with us probably on this, and most of you would have read the docs before. For whoever haven't, please keep the docs till we finish. Try to run through the demonstration with us now, and I'm sure you will enjoy a beneficial one.
When you log in, first you obviously need to create an account, but when you log in, this is the welcome screen that is shown to the end user. They are prompted to complete their account here. Going through these steps is very important, because without it, you won't be able, as the end user, to invest in any tokenized offerings on the marketplace. But it's important for a user, before sharing their information on their identity with a company, it's important for them to be able to browse through the marketplace to assess if this is something that's interesting for them or not. Now, here on the marketplace tab, there's the listed assets. Each real estate asset has a status that's marked here. It might be listed, might be trading, coming soon. So there's different statuses, or it might be in an offering. And once in an offering, it means that the issuer is selling tokens directly to investors. This might be a first round, or maybe a follow-up round of token sale. The offering itself is divided into two stages, and it's always a fixed price offering, which means that the investors are purchasing tokens at the same price in the pre-sale as well as in the main sale. We might add different functionalities or different sales mechanics in the future, but currently we feel this is the most sought after by marketplace operators. On the account section, there's information on the user. At first, there's just the email being shown, and everything else is empty, of course. But in time, you can add a wallet, for instance. We currently support MetaMask and Wallet Connect on production. We're testing some other wallets as we speak too. And the account will also show a trade history and a history of transactions involving offerings. Now, as I said, you can't really invest before you go through KYC. So for instance, you might want to take a look at this asset more in depth with the information here. On the right-hand side, you will have the issuer info, where the aggregated data on a specific issuer is shown. Now, in the middle, you have descriptions that you can add from the admin panel to each listing. And here on the left side, you have this kind of action column with the property info, with valuations of the asset, how many token holders there are currently, how many tokens have been issued, the link to Etherscan to the smart contract, as well as the link to the legal component of the tokenization, the corporate resolution. All of this data is more or less recorded on chain. So it is kind of time-stamped and publicly transparent. You can already browse through the property here on these tabs, and you can start verification if you haven't done so. The verification process is basically quite simple. It involves you starting the process, scanning the QR code you can do that with your phone if you want to. And when I scan it with my phone, it opens up the next step, where I can basically start doing the verification process. It involves first adding a document. You can choose something like passport, identity card, or driver's license, and this is shown on the phone. You can also do that through the application in the web browser on desktop, but it's way easier to scan photos, to scan documents and take photos with your phone, right? So one thing is uploading the document, then doing a selfie, and then the system analyzes the provided information in about 5, maybe 10 seconds. It takes to confirm a user's identity. I'll cancel this one as I have another account where I already did this verification previously. And we're going to just log out.
So let's look at what have happened here. I'll take you back to the main screen over here, and I want you to first go through the screen, as well as you've seen the other screens. You've seen how simple they are, how non-cluttered they are, and this is major, guys. It's all about simplicity, providing people just with the info they need. And as you see, it's rich with knowledge about the asset, about the property, about the location, about the dimensions, about all of those, as well as the tokenomics and the connection with Etherscan on there, so that you can see the contract and the data attached, and we'll see in a second. However, it's simple screens. Now, when I took you back to the screen because here you can verify your identity on the main screen, and those are few main steps. Now, yes, you want to look at the marketplace. If you launch your own marketplace, rather than having Blocksquare on top of here, on top of this page, you will be having your brand. Rather than having Blocksquare on the login page, you will have your brand. And the whole idea is your user will be able to navigate through all of this in a very easy way. See how easy you're doing it now. If you're following with us, your user can do it as easy, regardless if he's tech savvy, if he is been into crypto or not. It does not really matter much. They can do it at the same time. Now, they do the verification, the KYC process. They connect their wallet, and then you reach where Denis is talking about now. Whenever you reach the asset, and whenever you want to invest in an asset. So I will take you back to exactly where I left you with Denis, and I'll take you a step backwards so that he logs out, and then we take it forward from there.
And log back in with that account. So here, this is the view of a user where the process of providing the required information, so that the initial kind of steps are already completed. Once this is done, the user is free to invest in any properties listed on the marketplace. Let us start by connecting a wallet, and which will show on my home screen the value of my portfolio. It's going to be showing the dollar value here, but you can change this in the account section. You can change the currency to display to be displayed, and here now we change to euros, for instance. Now, after you connect the wallet, you're able to see your portfolio of properties. And here in the portfolio section, you have like a summary of what's going on. And here on the right side, we have the amount of tokens that you're holding in the portfolio and what's the value of those tokens. Here, if there's any pending revenue, the icon changes, so you can click and withdraw any revenues that you've earned. In the offering side, you can then engage in a main sale or in a pre-sale. Pre-sales are reserved for pre-ordering tokens, and mainly for investors that want to purchase in fiat currency. So making a bank transaction from their bank account to your bank account as the marketplace operator. So this means that we never actually touch funds, and we mitigate that risk for you. Now, the purchase process is quite simple. There's the information for the pre-order, the offering valuation, the price, how many tokens are issued, when the pre-sale starts, and what's the minimum and maximum investments you can make in this stage, as well as for the main sale. If you have already purchased tokens, you will be able to see this open existing purchase order, and if you haven't, it will prompt you to basically make the investment. Let's go in with an account where I haven't purchased tokens yet. I believe this is the one. This one here, sorry. Let's see if this is true. Yes, exactly. So here here is the process. You can pay with DAI, but that's only reserved for the main sale. While in this phase, you can purchase with euros. Basically, you just click on it, select how many tokens you want to invest in or how many euros you want to spend. Let's say that we want to invest 2,000 euros here. This will give us 147.73 tokens of this property, and this is the estimated the price per token that you're going to pay. You can select the wallet to which you want to the tokens to be delivered, and you can go and open payment details. Here it's the summary of what you decided to purchase, and you can go and confirm the order and open the pro forma invoice. I'm going to switch to that other account to show you how the pro forma looks. Now here, let's log in with this one, and in this pre-order I have this.
So for you who is scrolling with us now and who's trying what we are trying, you obviously cannot try everything that Denis is trying on a testnet or on an account that is populated with those. However, this is what your client will be able to try to test. Now, if you want to test exactly this, you're more than welcome. Please connect with us, and we will be able to assist you with a live demonstration beyond this, where we, alongside you, go forward through those steps one at a time. I'll switch you back to Denis. Denis is giving you a holistic view and a deep dive into the system at once. So you're getting all the details. It seems like too much knowledge, but because of the simplicity of the system, it looks like simple and you can acquire it at once. However, I believe you may want to repeat it or go through it afterwards again.
Open existing purchase order, because here I already made that pre-order, and this is the pro forma that is shown. Here everything is Blocksquare branded, but obviously your pro formas will be branded according to your guidelines. Here it's all the information, and then we have this payment purpose, which the user needs to put in when making the payment. It's very important to use this because this is the way how you will be identifying transactions that come to your bank account and confirming the reception of the amounts that they paid, of the paid invoices, and then queuing that transaction for minting tokens to the user. So here it's still awaiting approval.
The reference code that Denis showed you is a must to be able to allocate the funds in your account in an easy way. And your accountants will definitely be able to do that and will enjoy that. It's identifiable in a very easy manner.
Go back to the process of an offering that's in main sale. So in main sale, things are a bit different. We show the sales progress, and if you don't think right in the pre-sale, this progress will be almost up to the end of your 100% raise. In doing an investment through this type of offering when it's in the main sale can be only done with DAI, and to do that you need to connect your wallet first. Why? Because you will be transferring DAI, the stable coin, from your wallet to a smart contract that will then mint you tokens of this property to your wallet. So let's connect here with my wallet, and let's go through the investment. I can choose to pay with DAI here, and I can define the maximum amount of tokens that I want to purchase here. So for instance, let's say we will purchase one token for the sake of doing this process. I can confirm the order in MetaMask. Click on confirm, and this means that the purchase of one token should be confirmed soon. I can check on Etherscan what is going on and see if the transaction is already mined or not. Let's wait for a bit. These days, even the testnet can be a bit crowded with transactions depending on the gas costs that you put. So this is a successful transaction. That is the amount that has been purchased. This is the amount that has been paid. This is the smart contract address. And the token, one token, has been minted to the user. And the user can actually see this in their account now. If they go into the offerings part, there's the transaction history of every transaction that the user has made in the past when purchasing through an offering. Now let's head over to the marketplace and check a property that is, for instance, trading. Here we can take a look at the basic information, and as you see, this part here changes a bit. It shows your balance in stablecoin and as well your balances in this property particularly. Now, if there is somebody selling, you can then buy from that person, and if they are if you hold tokens, you can then of course sell tokens or put tokens on sale for others. Now here we can define the maximum amount. So if somebody is selling 10 tokens for the amount of 50 DAI. Let me try and make a smaller investment here of 20 DAI, purchasing 4 tokens. Let's confirm this buy order. So once again, the transaction has been broadcasted to the network, and you can see it by clicking here what's going on, and wait for it to be processed and mined. We will receive also notification from MetaMask as soon as this transaction is confirmed, I believe. Now, in the meantime, let's take a look at these tabs here. We haven't checked this yet. So on the last one, what we see is some charts relating to this property. We see the capital stack, where equity and debt and tokenization is defined. You might have different ratios, and that kind of creates a different risk profile for a particular investment. You can see the token holders chart, and if I click here, I will see the token holders of this asset on Etherscan. These numbers are wallets of users. We don't know who they are from here, but you do know from the back office. You're able to access the information on these users. And this is because our tokenization or our infrastructure is AML compliant, and you are then able to do tax reporting and other stuff that might be required by the regulator.
Guys, here is a very important point. You want to make sure whenever you're launching a business, and today you're launching a business or a part of a business, if you're in real estate already and you want to grow into the real estate of the future, you obviously are looking at this as an opportunity, and not getting it probably maybe a lost opportunity that you don't want. No one of us wants to lose such a major opportunity in their industry. Imagine Marriott owning Airbnb when it started, or not. Now, when you want to launch a business, you need to make sure that you're fully compliant, AML compliant, and compliant with every legislation possible. You will see that there's many touch points here that we try to make as frictionless as possible with legislators, as well as we are adamant to be KYC and AML compliant at all times to make sure that all transactions are happening the right way. You see the level of transparency, by the way, utilizing blockchain and distributed ledger technology in general, the level of transparency you're able to achieve within few screens. You're able to see the capital stack. Within few screens, you're able to see every single owner as a wallet. Now, he's not identified as a human being here in public, but he's identified as a wallet on Etherscan. So if you go to Etherscan and you check a tokenized property, you'll be able to see who holds it and how much do they hold of it. This level of transparency is very interesting because it tells you much about the property, it tells you much about the market, it tells you much about the community, and those are things you want to know. And if your customer is a serious institution, they want to know and they want to be able to measure as well. Let's go back to Denis and continue. Some very important, interesting stuff will come up in a second.
Let's take a look at this transaction that we did before. Now here you see it's a bit more complex than the one in the primary offering. Why? Because we have this integrated fee of 1.5% jointly that is split into three different parts. So one beneficiary of this fee is you as the marketplace operator. You receive 0.5%, then 0.5% goes to the asset owner, and 0.5% goes to Ocean Point, which is Blocksquare's DAO. And this
Here, I want you to concentrate with me because that's part of the essence of why would you be in this business. Now, I've been asked plenty of times. I'm in the business of, I own brokerages. I am in the business of investing in real estate, buying and selling real estate. And that's my main money making. I'm in the business of consultancy and advisory. However, the biggest money maker obviously is the investment side, the investing in real estate, buying real estate, selling real estate, improving real estate. And with little, I wouldn't say little effort, I would say with the right amount of effort, the right amount of diligence, and the right experience, and the right knowledge, and the right feel of the market, of the pulse, you're able to make significant profits there from little time invested. So I'm asked so often, why would you spend most of your time on an industry and the future, which is tokenization of real estate, while in brokerage or in development, if you wish, or in consultancy or in investment? Obviously, you can make money today. And here is one of the reasons. I've been investing in real estate for more than 10 years. Yeah, I've been in real estate for around 20 years now. And I'm a very active buyer and seller. I'm in a market, I'm very lucky, I'm in the Dubai market. We buy and we sell property with a turnaround time sometimes, which is none heard of in any other market. We're in a very liquid market. We have clients from all over the world coming into this market, similar to most of us. We're expats, as well as there's a strong development that have happened fundamentally in the economy, fundamentally in the surrounding and the infrastructure within that. I can't do anything but talk about Dubai every time we talk about this. Now, over the past 15 years, let's say, when I've been investing in real estate, buying and selling, I've been on average buying and selling, again, it used to be less at the beginning and now it's much more, 100 apartments or units a year. So between purchase and sale, because every purchase and sale are two transactions, you buy and you sell. So let's call it 100 transactions over the past 15 years every year, or over the past 10 years every year. That is an average of 1,000 transactions. Now, focus with me here for a second. 1,000 transactions of very well selected property, because I know how to select my property, obviously, and very well vetted opportunities. So much time, nights and days spent in research and purchasing and selling the right way, because you also need to do a clean purchase, a clean sale, everything around in a clean way. So much of improvement happened to so many properties to make the right profit, because not at all times was the market rising, but at all times we were making money doing what we were doing. All of those right choices, some of the properties that I bought and sold are non-replaceable. You cannot replace a property that no one is selling off anymore. A property in address downtown where there's only 13 of it and every owner of it is living in it, and I used to own it and I sold it and I made money on it. Today I only have the pictures of it. Sometimes I delete some of those pictures of some of those properties because they cramped my hard drive. So the question again is, why would you put this much time? Because most of my time now goes on the future, on tokenization. And I answer because if I would have done what I'm gonna do in the coming 10 years or the past 10 years, I would have a royalty on every property I've ever bought and sold today. How? Let me tell you. And you can have the same. On every secondary transaction. Remember, this is not on primary transactions. So when somebody or you tokenize your property on your platform and you sell those tokens for the first time, that's a primary sale, there's no such fees. But secondary transactions, so when the buyer of those tokens sells them to someone else, there's a 1.5% fee embedded into the system. And by the way, here, when you talk to the legislator around you, and part of the worries of the legislator is the ability to make sure they collect properly every single fee, stamp duty or transfer fee for the property ownership. Remember how we embedded the 1.5%, we can embed 4, 7, 8, 2, whatever it is that the stamp duty is in the country or in the city at the time. So it can all be embedded within that ecosystem. To go back to my main subject, 1.5% split 0.5% to the owner, the man who did the right choice in the first place and bought and selected the right property or upgraded and improved it the right way. 0.5% to the platform operator, which on my properties will be me. 0.5% to Ocean Point, Blocksquare. Imagine that over the past 10 years, all the property I've purchased, let's not call it 1 billion, let's call it 500 million worth of value. I have a royalty on any transaction that takes place in the future on every single one of those properties. I'll leave you do the mathematics, look at probabilities of how many times each part of a property transacts and how many times do the whole portfolio transact in a 10-year period. And remember, when you tokenize, probably the frequency of transactions will be higher. And you make a royalty over all of this. We can call it a royalty. It's a percentage over all of this. This means that every right choice I've done would it be paying today. Now, unfortunately, it's not paying from yesterday. Thanks God, the development of the portfolio pays me passive income today. However, that's what can happen tomorrow. So what you would be in the business of is not collecting small fees here and there. Yes, you can do value adds and collect fees, sure. However, you're in the business of opening a compound infinite return opportunity, because it's compounding and it's compounding perpetually, that obviously will dwindle with time, with more players, with more competition. But that's the opportunity that is there today. Think about it. I'll take you back to Denis. Think about it. Think about if you're a broker or a developer and you sold 10,000 units over the past 10 years, imagine that you've sold them on your platform and you have 0.5% of every other sale that ever happened or that ever happens on those properties. Again, you do the maths.
This way, we keep things in line between the various stakeholders in terms of marketplace, the asset owner, the marketplace operator, and the infrastructure operator, Blocksquare. Um, this might be a small amount at first, and we don't see a lot of revenue being generated there. But in time, as you grow your marketplace with multiple assets being listed and traded, um, this might become a very, very interesting business revenue stream for your business. Now, here we also have this part with documents, where this section is currently empty here, but you can imagine it being populated with PDF documents from performance reports to blueprints to any maintenance reports, anything basically that the owner wants to communicate with its shareholders or token holders, basically. It's a community of investors or invested people in their assets. The part on the location also offers a gallery, and here you can see multiple images that can be attached to each asset. We will also soon support video as well, so that you can also attach videos that you want to share with your user base, and the location, which is stored in the smart contract, shows the investor the exact geolocation of the real estate asset that they're investing in. Last but not least, trade history. You want to know what's happening with real estate asset and its value throughout its lifetime since issuance. There's this box here with all the transactions that involve this particular real estate asset and recorded on chain, of course, as well as this overall chart displaying the value of the real estate asset through time. See the balance being updated here, 3.94 tokens that we bought, and we can see the same thing in our portfolio here.
Yep. I want to talk about the thing that just passed here, the trade history, the transaction history. The first time, by the way, real estate tokenization, I didn't know tokenization at that time because 7 years ago, I didn't know Bitcoin, I didn't know blockchain, I didn't know anything about distributed ledger technologies. I just was a real estate guy, and I was thinking, how come Google, Alphabet, and Apple and similar companies, billions of dollars, are transacted $100 or $50 or $20 a share, and real estate is still transacted the way it is, $1 million a piece. And at that moment of time, without taking so much time to describe this event, because I have described it before multiple times, I thought there should be a way to do it. And when the idea started developing, I was thinking about the benefits of that. And one of the benefits is transparency, where you see all transactions that have ever taken place. In the equity market, you even see the transactions pending, the order book, and what's coming, the depth of the market, how many buy requests are there, at what prices, and. This is very important, guys, to industry leaders. This is very important to you if you're a developer, a platform operator. This is very important to every buyer, wherever he is from in the world. This is very important to valuers. This is very important to governments, countries, consumer protection departments. How many people do you know, or you've dealt with, or you've been probably, in a situation where a purchase of a property took place above the value of the property in that area at that point of time, because there was no proper reference at times, even when valuations take place? How about if you can have a dynamic valuation as accurate as you know every single transaction in the bits and pieces, timestamped, that have ever taken place, and it all happened automated, so there's no changes in pricing, avoiding taxation in a certain way, or anything like that. Imagine. I'll take you back to where I stopped, Dennis, and then we take it forward from
If I go back to the asset, and what I want to show you as well is the token contract and the corporate resolution. So here you have links to both. I'll open up the token contract on Etherscan. The contract itself has various functionalities. You can read a lot of data here, and there's data that is inscribed in the smart contract too. Now, here you can see the amount of tokens that are supplied. So by our standards, we have 100,000 tokens that can be minted, but obviously not that the full capital stack might not be tokenized. So this means that if you want to tokenize 10% of that capital stack, you would issue 10,000 tokens, for instance, which is great because it then can coexist with debt provided by traditional lenders, for instance. Now, here you will see on the read contract, you will see there's get IPFS hash. So this hash is basically the corporate resolution document that was signed and then uploaded to IPFS. So this links, or this shows the document, references the document on that is the legal component of the tokenization. Now, if I click here, view corporate resolution, it will open up that same document. It uses an IPFS gateway to show the document, and here you have the hash that we found here in the smart contract. Now, this resolution has an initial section defining the company and the signatories on the resolution. It has this part here that defines the asset being tokenized, but as well the smart contract through which the tokenization happens. It also defines the revenue percentage of this tokenization and the total emission of the tokens, which is always 100,000, but as we said, a part might not be actually minted. Now here in the second section, or the last section of the resolution, we have all the clauses that define the life cycle of this tokenization, the transfer of economic rights to token holders from the owner of the asset, and the buyback process or obligations or mechanics for exiting or buying back the token and when this needs to happen. As you see on each page, we reference the smart contract so that it's clear from each part of this resolution. And in the end, there's, of course, the signatures on the resolution. This way of tokenizing real estate through the corporate resolution is very easy. It's legally not so intensive. And at the same time, it provides enough security for an investor to be confident that their investment is contractually bound and there's an agreement that is legally binding for the issuer. So should any dispute happen, legal recourse is, of course, possible.
Pardon me, it took me a second to come back to you. What Denis took us through at the end is very important. Eventually, guys, as it seems, unless a better technology than blockchain comes to store documents and store contracts, and I believe there wouldn't be very soon, because unless governments are really solid about what blockchain technology is, they wouldn't be using it as they started adopting it today. Like in Dubai, for example, all title deeds are on blockchain already. When all title deeds are in blockchain already, tokenizing real estate may get to a point very soon where you are able, through buying a token, having this token immediately, a token purchase, registered immediately in the land registry, which allows you to affect the deed, the title. To date, that's not possible, and in most jurisdictions, touching the title or the deed is illegal. So tokenizing real estate, if you want to tokenize the asset really, you don't want to create a structure before it which makes it so high cost and gets it nearest to crowdfunding rather than tokenization. If you don't want to tokenize debt, if you want to tokenize the property itself, the best way to do it without touching the deed is to tokenize everything behind the deed, the economic rights behind the property, from usage to returns. And this is what we do. I hope that we covered everything. I believe Denis went extensively into it. You've seen how simple it is with all the details and the complex stuff that he explained because of the simplicity of the system and the thinking that I've gone into it. It looks pretty easy to understand and adopt. So I thank you all for your interest in Blocksquare technology. I thank you all for being with us today. Yes, we decided to do it that way so that we don't demonstrate to one of you, and I know that you're plenty. We demonstrate to as many as possible within this session. And if you want, and most of you will want, hopefully, to go forward through a test run, demonstration where we can test everything that we talked about today, please feel free to get in touch with us. Again, from Denis, from me, from our whole team at Blocksquare. And remember, this is happening now. It's probably night for Julia now, but she's still on because we want to get this to you on time. So thank you for the whole team who's putting tremendous effort to get things done the right way, and it's a collaborative energy that is inspiring. Thank you for the whole community that is putting this much effort in. Actually, our community promotes us. Our community is so enthusiastic about the future, which is something we're proud about, and it inspires us as well. And we want you to be our partner. So every member of our community and you to be our partner. Thank you again for joining us today. Have a good day.